Hare Krishna. So I welcome everyone for this scientifically prepared course, Discover Yourself. And in this, you will learn a lot of things. It will help you how to apply different aspects of spirituality in life, and you learn a lot of new things. It will help you to have healthy mind and lifestyle and many much more things. From the start of life, we are all in a cycle. There is birth, and there is youth, and that we study a lot of things. We go to school, college. Then after that we strive for job. There is marriage, we have wife, then children. This is what is going on. Then we strive for that they get settled. For us, that is the aim. And then old age comes. Along with it, there are so many difficulties, and many we suffer so many diseases as well, right? And finally the whole process comes to a halt, that is death, है ना? फिर हमारी मृत्यु हो जाती है. So life we see that इसमें एक abrupt ending आता है, right? But aren't we all looking for happiness? Isn't it? हम सब खुश रहना चाहते हैं ना हमेशा के लिए. तो डेथ से, मृत्यु से एक अब्रप्ट एंडिंग होना, क्या ये सोचने वाली बात है ना कि ऐसा क्यों होता है? Isn't it? So similarly, you know, we need to understand that there are many aspects of life. So we should be thoughtful and inquisitive about those aspects, right? So the purpose of human life is thus not to just live life, but it is to inquire about life, you know, what life is all about, you know. So we see so many beautiful things in nature, and we are curious also, है ना? हम उनको जानने की भी इच्छा करते हैं कि ये सब चीजें कैसे आई लाइफ में. Isn't it? When we go to college, we think that हम कुछ नई चीजें सीखेंगे, और हम कई क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं जिससे हमें कई आंसर्स मिले, right? So similarly we have these questions as well, जैसे कि what is the purpose of life, है ना? जीवन का वास्तविक सत्य क्या है, क्या करना है जीवन में. What is it, what is my duty, मेरे जीवन का उद्देश्य क्या है, मुझे करना क्या है ना? What is meaning of life, जीवन का क्या मकसद है, क्या मतलब है ना? और ऐसा क्यों होता है कि सब कुछ जो है एकदम से अंत हो जाता है मृत्यु के कारण, राइट? और इस तरीके से कई सारे हमारे जीवन में प्रश्न रहते हैं. यस. सो कोई भी एक बुद्धिमान व्यक्ति इन प्रश्नों से गुजरता है, और मैं समझता हूँ कि आप सब भी इन प्रश्नों से गुजरे होंगे. इजंट इट? है ना? अपने चैट बॉक्स में यस लिखिए अगर आप, वाई लिखिए अगर आप इन क्वेश्चन से गुजरे हैं. यस है कि नहीं? यस. सो हम इन क्वेश्चंस, इन तरीके के विभिन्न प्रकार के क्वेश्चंस के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे, और उन क्वेश्चंस का आंसर ढूंढने का प्रयास करेंगे. यस. सो दिस कोर्स हैज बीन डिजाइंड विद लॉजिक, रीजनिंग, and also has various examples from Vedic scriptures. So this course is not just about spirituality, it is science with spirituality, right? So it's a combination of both. So ऐसा मत सोचेगा कि it's just gonna be simple crude philosophical subject matter. It's gonna be both scientific as well as spiritual, right? So yeah. So the topic for The first session is the mastermind behind the mysterious universe. Okay. As we know that the modern man is waking up to the reality. वास्तविकता में जो आधुनिक व्यक्ति है जाग रहा है कि सिर्फ इंटेलिजेंट क्वेश्चन आईक्यू ही सफिशिएंट नहीं है ना, उसके साथ इमोशनल क्वेश्चन जो कि काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है एक व्यक्ति के लिए जो कि सक्सेसफुल हो लाइफ में. कोई व्यक्ति सक्सेसफुल हो पर इनसेंसिटिव हो तो क्या वो आपको पसंद आएगा? नहीं, राइट? उसी के साथ आईक्यू के साथ इमोशनल क्वेश्चन भी होना चाहिए, मतलब वो सेंसिटिव भी होना चाहिए. पर उससे ज्यादा आज के समय में देखा जाता है कि स्पिरिचुअल क्वेश्चन सर पासेस द इमोशनल क्वेश्चन, दैट नॉट ओनली the IQ, intelligent question is required, not only emotional question required, but also spiritual question is required. That is understanding of spirituality. And many scientists are evidence for this. So science of spirituality has become a great topic of interest in today's time, and throughout the world there is a great interest and curiosity about this subject matter. So I wish you a great success with the use of this course, that you will apply the teachings of it and it will help you to achieve great endeavors in your life. And with this, we begin this course. So we shall watch a video here. Okay. So as you saw that there is a very beautiful nature and it is very intriguing. हमारे जो नेचर है उसमें हम देखते कितनी इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें हैं, कितनी ब्यूटीफुल चीजें हैं, एंड दिस लीड्स वन टू बी वेरी क्यूरियस अबाउट दीज थिंग्स, राइट? सो can anyone read this? This is the summary of our topic. Can anyone read?
Essence. By observing the world around us scientifically, we can see the hand of a supreme intelligent designer.
Yeah. So by observing the world around us scientifically, है ना, तो हम उससे क्या देख सकते हैं? एक सुप्रीम इंटेलिजेंट डिजाइनर का प्रेजेंस, राइट? So say suppose you are walking on a beach and you see a watch, it's lying, okay? और आप उसको उठाते हो, उसको ओपन करते हो और देखते हो उसके अंदर एक प्रिंटेड सर्किट बोर्ड है ना, और बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है. तो नेचुरली आप सोचोगे कि किसी ने इसको डिजाइन करा होगा, राइट? सो हर एक पीसीबी का कोई पर्पस होता है, राइट? जैसे अगर वो टेलीविजन में होगा या लैपटॉप में होगा या कैलकुलेटर में होगा, राइट? तो कोई भी डिजाइन जो है दो चीजें इंप्लाई करता है, दैट देयर इज अ डिजाइनर एंड डिजाइन इज मेंट फॉर सम पर्पस. मींस ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं होगी जिसमें कोई कोई उसका कोई डिजाइनर नहीं होगा, और ना ही ऐसी कोई चीज होगी जिसका कोई पर्पस नहीं है, राइट? सो इन द सेम मैनर द वर्ल्ड वी सी अराउंड बाय आवर ओन ऑब्जर्वेशन, है ना. तो हम यहाँ पे इन चीजों के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे आज, है ना. सो हमारा ऑब्जर्वेशन क्या है, साइंटिफिक ऑब्जर्वेशंस क्या है, और देन देयर विल बी अ $2 million question, and there will be activity, and then what is our prime duty, what do we learn from the today's session. Okay. So there are already many scientists who have some observation, but हमें ये भी सोचना चाहिए कि हमारे सराउंडिंग्स में क्या ऑब्जर्वेशन है, क्या हम उस चीज को रियलाइज कर पा रहे हैं, समझ पा रहे हैं. So, the crux is that of this the whole session, that there will be a supreme intelligent designer. Okay, now let's come to the first thing, our observation, right? So this you know brings us to a question: does God really exist? क्या वास्तविकता में भगवान होते हैं, right? So let's think about it. Okay, तो सोचिए, who creates and maintains this beautiful and harmonious universe, है ना? किस व्यक्ति ने या किसने ये पूरी इतनी अच्छा ब्रह्मांड बनाया जिसमें हर चीज बहुत सुंदर है और बहुत बेहतरीन तरीके से तालमेल में है, राइट? और एक बहुत अच्छा फॉर्मूला है ना, इन चीजों को, ऑब्जर्वेशंस को समझने का, है ना? इस चीज को आप लिख सकते हैं, नोट्स बना सकते हैं, आपका क्विज होगा, है ना? सो क्विज में कई क्वेश्चंस आएंगे जो कि आपको हेल्प करेंगे इन चीजों को एब्जॉर्ब करने में अपनी मेमोरी में, राइट? सो प्लीज डू मेक अ नोट ऑफ इट, है ना? इट विल हेल्प यू इन क्विज. सो A B C D E F, okay, simple, है ना? First, artistry, it implies there would be artist. Beautiful organization implies there would be organizer. Creation implies there will be a creator. Design, designer. Energy, energetic. And flawless lords, a lawmaker. So one by one we'll go with examples. इसको कैसे समझ सकते हैं हम? Okay. So ये सारी पेंटिंग्स हैं. So क्या आप ये सब देखे होंगे, जानते होंगे, isn't it? Yes. ओके. सो ये सारी जो पेंटिंग्स हैं बहुत ही फेमस पेंटर्स द्वारा बनाई गई है ना? और उसी तरीके से नेचर में भी, है ना, ये चीजें एग्जिस्ट करती हैं, है ना? देयर आर वेरी ब्यूटीफुल लैंडस्केप्स, है ना? देयर वाटरफॉल्स, रोजेस, राइट? So just like these paintings have a painter, right? किसी पेंटिंग को किसी पेंटर ने बनाया होगा, एंड दीज पेंटिंग्स आर वर्थ मिलियंस, राइट? तो एक व्यक्ति था, वो अपने मिलियनियर फ्रेंड के पास गया और उसने मॉडर्न आर्ट पेंटिंग्स अपने घर में दिखाई, और वो बताने लगा कि ये जो पेंटिंग है ना, ये बहुत महंगी है, $5,000 की है. तो ये व्यक्ति सोच रहा था कि ऐसा लग रहा है इस पेंटिंग में कि किसी डॉग ने अपनी पूंछ पे पेंट लगा के जस्ट ही पेंटेड ऑन द कैनवास, राइट? एंड सच अ पेंटिंग इज वर्थ $5,000, राइट? सो वो व्यक्ति कहने लगा, नहीं नहीं, ये मॉडर्न आर्ट है, एंड बहुत ही फेमस आर्टिस्ट ने इसको बनाया है, इसलिए ये बहुत कॉस्टली है, राइट? सो व्हाट अबाउट दिस, है ना? अगर हम अपने सराउंडिंग्स में नेचर को देखें, सो इन चीज़ों के बारे में क्या, है ना, कितनी डेलिकेटली इन चीज़ों को बनाया होगा, या कितनी डेलिकेट और कितनी सेंसिटिव चीज़ें हैं, कितनी ब्यूटीफुल हैं, कितना वाइब्रेंसी है इन इन चीज़ों में, राइट? If you go to any hill station like Mount Abu or Shimla or any place, right? You know, so what you will find, that there's so much richness, so much beauty, and so much detail, you know, so much vibrancy is there, right? And it is very charming to our hearts. So if you look at nature, and if you look at these paintings, right, these paintings are made by painters and they are very much costly. तो हम सोचें कि ये लैंडस्केप्स हैं, वाटरफॉल्स हैं, रोजेस हैं, सो इनका क्या, है ना, क्या क्या सेंसिटिविटी होगी, कितनी मेहनत से इन चीज़ों को बनाया गया होगा, कितने कॉस्टली इन टर्म्स ऑफ, इन कंपैरिजन टू पेंटिंग्स ये चीज़ें होंगी, राइट? सो now we see this thing, you know, there is this waterfall. right? Now we see this lotus. See, the lotus is opening, right? Forms, shapes, sizes, है ना? And each and every flower has its own texture. It has its own fragrances, है ना? And now, if we compare to a paper flower, right? अगर आपको एक पेपर फ्लावर बनाना होगा तो आपको क्या क्या चीजें चाहिए होंगी, है ना? What all things you will be need? Huh? Right in the comment box, right? There will be, you will be requiring what? Some paper, right? Some glue, scissors, pens, right? All these things there will be requirement, isn't it? You know, but not only this, along with this you will require some intelligence, some artistry, right? You need brains to do this thing, isn't it? तो जैसे स्कूल्स में हमें क्ले दिया जाता था तो उससे हम बनाते थे, अलग अलग चीज़ें बनाते थे, राइट? आर्ट एंड क्राफ्ट सेशंस में, राइट? सो similarly, even to prepare this a simple paper rose, we need all this equipment, and also we require intelligence, right? Now compare it to a real rose, right? Now if you compare, what things are there, they're delicate petals, but compared to the paper flower, what is that? It is very rough, isn't it? बहुत ही खुदरा है. असली जो रोज होता है उसमें खुशबू होती है, राइट? पर आर्टिफिशियल में नहीं होगा, राइट? सो नाउ this makes us think, right? What to speak of the flowers in nature with their delicateness, biological complexity, fragrance, and their shapes and forms. So if there is a creator, a designer, an artist behind a paper flower, then think about the real rose flower, right? Where does the fragrance come from? Uh, and on all these things, right? So if we cut the stem of it, and what you will get, we cannot make out of anything, right? We need to uh, sow it somewhere, and then you will get the flower. This means जो जो बीज है फ्लावर का, उसके अंदर पहले से ही ये प्रोग्रामिंग है. It already exists inside the seed. How it will be, कैसा वो texture होगा, क्या color होगा, क्या fragrance होगी. तो who designed it, isn't it? Who's the artist behind it? Even the big biologist with so many big terminologies, that there is cytoplasm and all these things, but still they cannot explain that how and why there is so many variety of vegetation all around the world, है ना? If we, अगर आप किसी जंगल में जाओ, है ना, तो आप देखोगे कि हर एक पोर्शन ऑफ लैंड पे कुछ कुछ दूर पे आपको एक डिफरेंट वेजिटेशन मिलेगा, एक डिफरेंट वैरायटी मिलेगी, राइट? सो हाउ इट इज कमिंग, राइट? सो नाउ देयर आर सम वीडियोस, राइट? Is this, is it coming? Yeah.
Bees are called social insects because they live and work together as a community. Thousands of female bees, called worker bees, live together in a hive with a queen bee. The queen bee was marked with a red dot, so we can see her better. The worker bees are all females, but they almost never lay eggs. Worker bees do almost all the chores in the hive. They gather pollen or nectar, guard the entrance, clean the hive, build the comb, make honey, tend the queen, and feed the larvae. They even fan the hive with their wings to keep it cool on a hot summer day.
Yeah. See, कितना complex है ना? Honeycomb is very complex and it is an example of superb organization, right? कुछ worker bees थे जो इसको protect करते हैं, कुछ उसको fan करके ठंडा रखते हैं, है ना? And the queen is protected, है ना? And the worker bees don't impregnate other bees, है ना? And there is all the bees, they go to different flowers and bring nectar, है ना, to make honey, right? So इससे हम समझते हैं कितना अच्छा social understanding है nature के अंदर bees में, right? इसी तरीके से ant hills होते हैं. Ant hills में बहुत बड़े बड़े बनते हैं कई बार, और even scientists are amazed that it has so many layers कि वो अंदर से काफी ठंडा रहता है, right? It is very cooling. And for us humans, we need big ACs and refrigerators and so many different appliances and technology to keep our homes and our things cool, isn't it?
Ants. Termites live in colonies made up of millions of individuals. They work together so harmoniously that the whole colony functions like a single body, a single creature. These are worker termites. They are blind and deaf. As you can see, they mix pieces of earth with a special plaster and widen the walls of their nest. God has given these creatures, which behave like the cells of a single body, different bodily structures for different jobs. Workers are born with the necessary tools for construction on their bodies. As you are now seeing, soldier termites are equipped with heavy weapons.
And here we see amazing thing, you know, the spider webs, and even architects are amazed, है ना? बहुत ही amazing designs होते हैं.
Mathematician spiders. Compared to their own sizes, spiders build very large webs. Indeed, if we enlarged a spider to the size of a human being, the length of the web it weaves would be approximately 150 meters, which corresponds to a 50-story skyscraper. Is it possible for a human being to weave a lacework the size of a 50-story skyscraper in only an hour? But a tiny spider accomplishes much more than that. Moreover, the spider-woven web is the sturdiest material in the world. How do spiders weave these webs possessing miraculous features? The spider takes into consideration many factors while weaving a web hundreds of times larger than its own size. This task demands at least some calculations essential in constructing a building. For the accomplishment of this work, first the spider must draw a project like an architect, for a construction of this size, design, and sturdiness cannot be accomplished without an architectural project. Once the project is drawn, The spider must calculate the lifting capacity of each part of the web like an engineer. Otherwise, the web cannot remain suspended. In order to design such a web and make such delicate calculations, the spider must be more qualified than a college graduate.
Right.
Indeed,
So, how a spider makes web just by releasing some liquid from its mouth, right? So, we need to understand one thing that जब ये world बना तो उसमें ऐसा नहीं कुछ rubbish था और just वो it was just floating around here and there, है ना? It was not without any order or design, right? So what we are showing is that in every nook and corner of this world there exists some kind of artistry and some kind of order, isn't it? Some kind of organization, right? Just from a spider we can see. You know, have a look at the silkworm now.
This is a silkworm caterpillar. They eat only mulberry leaves. And after 50 days of feeding, they'll be 10,000 times heavier and ready to transform. 25% of their body mass is made up of silk glands. They spin a cocoon using a single thread, which can be over 900 meters in length.
900, right?
And it's this silk that
900
forms the
thread.
basis of an industry that shaped our history, and today has a commercial value of up to £300 million.
Right? So approximately a kilometer of thread the silkworm produces, लगभग 1 किलोमीटर, right? और बहुत strong होता है ये, right? तो इतना छोटा सा creature जो है, isn't it? And this is beaver.
First stage
कैसे
in
ये
the
अपना घर
building
बनाता है?
process. Upstream, among the cottonwood trees, the beaver crew have also started stones and rocks to form a wall and cover it with woody
लकड़ियों
debris.
से, पत्थरों से.
The foreman and her family add more and more layers, and over a couple of weeks, water backs up behind the dam to form a pond. It's just the first stage in their 6-month schedule. Each day,
So each one of these creatures, it has a great brain behind this. It requires great brain for this kind of artistry. तो क्या ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि कोई एक ग्रेट आर्टिस्ट होना चाहिए जो कि इनको इस आर्ट को सिखाया होगा? Is it not? And just like in school, there were many different teachers who would teach us English, physics, maths, and some would be teaching us painting, some would be teaching us singing, some in other instruments, right? तो उसी तरीके से है ना, there are different teachers teaching so many arts, right? So there must be a supreme teacher teaching these creatures different types of art, isn't it? Right. So this implies that behind the beautiful organization there is a organizer. Now we come to what man has made. Till now we talked about something about nature. Now let's come what man has made, right? There is car, someone has manufactured it, computers, and someone would have assembled it, right? We see that कोई भी चीज हो, पेन हो तो उसका एक कैप होगा, उसका रिफिल होगा, है ना, और एवरीथिंग एक साथ फिट होगा, राइट? हर एक चीज का एक पर्पस है. तो डिजाइन का क्या मतलब है? उसका मतलब है कि इट हैज टू बी प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय अ कंपनी and it has a purpose, right? Anything which you see, a watch is there, buildings are there, right? It is made by someone and for purpose, right? So what about this universe? What about this universe? Let's see about the universe, something macro, very big things, right? Very interesting. So as you saw in the starting that there were small galaxies, then those all were into a cluster, and then there were super clusters, right? And all these are just like a small grape in the in a on a tree. You see this, right? So marvelous, so amazing, right? And we are able to create very small things, right? So, so we showed some things which are created by man, and it has a purpose. And now we also discuss something which is macro level, right? So this implies that if there is creation, there has to be a creator. Okay. Yeah. So this is sequoia tree seeds. It is approx what? Around 1.5 centimeter, right? 1.5 centimeter, right? So uh, let's see what it becomes. So this is a very small tiny seed, okay? And see, and this is the tree which comes out of it. Yeah. So so this makes us think that from this thing, this universe, right? How how such a huge and vast creation could come out by itself without a creator, right? That's our question. And from here, see, from this tiny seed, what comes out? This big tree. Uh, so if someone will say to you that this tall building has come out by its own, will you believe it? Right? No. Anything which will come by its own, can you believe? No, it has to be having some reason, some purpose, right? Similarly, this small seed, this sequoia seed, it is like approximately 1.5 centimeter in length, and see what comes out of this. It is around this tree is approximately 300 feet in height, and it is approx 30 feet in diameter, and will require at least 15 to 20 people to cover it in a circumference by holding hands around it, right? And even a car can go inside just from a seed which is 1.5 centimeter, right? And such a huge tree is coming out of it. Creation is made such a way that a huge tree is programmed in a small seed, right? Another thing we can look कि एक हाथी का बच्चा होता है ना, और एक ह्यूमन का बच्चा होता है. They both are very small, but as the elephant baby grows, it can go up to the height of the ceiling, right? So similarly, nature में ऐसी ऐसी चीजें हैं जो कि अलग अलग चीजें अलग अलग तरीके से प्रोग्राम्ड है, अलग अलग शेप और साइजेस लेने को, है ना? So that is what is creation, right? Now there is this, let's talk about something human brain, right? Something about humans. so many amazing facts about the brain, right? So here we see that this, chip, processor is so much. The brain is so powerful as compared to a processor. How the human brain can store more information than all the libraries in the world, right? So not only the human brain can store information, but it can also process it, right? So just like we see there are DVDs, Blu-rays, and storage devices which can store petabytes of data, right? And so many technological research and development is required to make these things, right? And the brain, on the other hand, is not only able to store this information but also process it, right? So who has designed this thing? If it requires so much brain for technologies, what about this, right? So now let's go to micro world. Okay, so as you know that there was first Dalton, who he said that atom cannot be split at all. Okay, and then Rutherford came. So he told that he did an experiment proving कि न्यूक्लियस जो है वो थिकेस्ट पोर्शन है एटम का और वो स्प्लिट किया जा सकता है और उसके अराउंड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रिवॉल्व कर रहे हैं, राइट? एंड देन बोर गेव हिज थ्योरी, उन्हें अपना मॉडल दिया है ना, और हर एक एलिमेंट को एक स्ट्रक्चर दिया 1s2 2p6 एंड ऑल, राइट? सो एक एलिमेंट जो है अदर एलिमेंट से डिफरेंट है ऑन many things like structure, right? So this is the Bravais lattice structure, and there are 14 in number, right? So these Bravais structure, what is it about? It is about the structure of atom, the configuration of the atoms within an element, right? So they're not placed haphazardly, इधर उधर नहीं इनको just place करा गया है, right? They have a order. Each and every structure has a configuration, it has a order, right? Now let's see, this is graphite, and with a slight molecular change it becomes what? Diamond, right? One, if we compare both, एक ग्रेफाइट जो है बहुत ही सॉफ्ट है, बहुत ही सिंपल है ना, whereas diamond is very difficult, very hard, right? And what is the difference? The molecular orientation, that is the only basic thing. So just a slight change in the configuration, in the configuration of atoms, everything changes, like color and smell. It can change taste, So this thing points out that there is order and there is design in nature, right? So now let's come to the universe, our galaxy, our planets and all, right? So this is our solar system, and all the planets are revolving around the sun, and you know what the precision is? It's to the third decimal we can tell that the Earth, it revolves, so it is around 365.256 days. So up Earth ki movement se you can tell, you can use Earth movement as a clock, right? So they are not being disturbed by any other things. They are revolving in concentric circles, right? This is about the seasons.
Earth rotates around its axis once a day. The tilt of the axis affects when seasons occur. When the axis tilts toward the sun, the northern hemisphere experiences summer, while the southern hemisphere experiences winter. In half a year, the Earth will revolve elliptically counterclockwise around the sun, while the axis stays tilted at 23.5 degrees. When the axis tilts away from the sun, The northern hemisphere then experiences winter, and the southern hemisphere experiences summer.
Right? So this is how the seasonal changes happen. This is Fibonacci.
Around 1200 AD, a man named Leonard Pisano, better known as Fibonacci, discovered a sequence of numbers that created a very interesting pattern. The sequence begins with the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and continues indefinitely. Each number is obtained by adding the last two digits together. A rectangle with a length and width of any two of the numbers of this sequence forms what is known as the golden rectangle, a perfect rectangle. A golden rectangle can be broken down into squares the size of the next Fibonacci numbers down and below. If we were to take a perfect or golden rectangle, break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci's sequence, and divide each with an arc, the patterns begin to take shape. We begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant. Its importance is revealed in where we find it. Take, for example, the sunflower. The display of its florets are in perfect spirals of 55, 34, and 21, the sequence of Fibonacci. The fruitlets of the pineapple create the same spiral based on the sequence. The pine cone does the same. As currents move through the ocean and the tide rolls onto the shore, the waves that bring in the tide curve into a spiral that can be mathematically diagrammed onto a plot at the points 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sand dollars, starfish, petals on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this exact same blueprint. With each segment of growth, the nautilus adds to itself one more value on Fibonacci's scale. This blueprint can be seen around us on a small scale every day, but the greatest example of all is directly above our heads. At an average of 100,000 light years across, even the spiral of the galaxies above us are formed with the exact design that the tiny shell is formed. This sequence, or blueprint, appears to be the trademark of a designer, a proof of a creator, something left behind indicating the one who was there, a fingerprint. As we scan our universe from the tiny flower to the awe-inspiring galaxy, we see the fingerprint of God.
So here what it implies was that each person, around 7 billion of us are on this earth, right? Every person has a unique fingerprint, right? And ये जो spiral है, this spiral है ना, हर एक minute detail में ये spiral mathematically exist करता है, and this is a mathematical code, है ना? And just like we have a fingerprint, similarly this is the God's fingerprint. This is how God has left his fingerprint, right? So if just like हर एक आर्किटेक्चर का एक यूनिक स्टाइल होता है डिजाइन करने का, राइट? उसी तरीके से एक सिंगर होता है, कई तरीके सिंगर्स होते हैं, उनका एक डिफरेंट स्टाइल होता है सिंगिंग का. सो गॉड आल्सो हैज अ मैथमेटिकल code, this is a standard what he has made for the entire creation, right? And I'll tell you one book, you can go to that and refer to that, Evidence of God in Ever Expanding Universe. Okay, this is a book in which more than 40 plus scientists have come together, and they see hand of God in the world, है ना? और अपने ही एंगल से अपनी अपनी फील्ड, जैसे फिजिक्स है, केमिस्ट्री है ना, अपने अपनी फील्ड से they have given evidences how they see the hand of God in the entire creation. Okay, so it is called the Evidence of God in Ever Expanding Universe. Okay, so now see the satellite, right? कितनी कितनी हमें मेहनत करनी पड़ती है एक सैटेलाइट को ऑर्बिट में रखने के लिए, राइट? लेट्स सी. 24 hours around clock monitoring, isn't it? और कौन से पैरामीटर्स होते हैं? ओरिएंटेशन, स्पिन, वेलोसिटी, है ना, ऑल दीज पैरामीटर्स आर देयर. ये सब मेंटेन करने पड़ते हैं. और इतनी बड़ी टीम होती है ना, हर एक अलग डिपार्टमेंट होता है, वो ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल आर देयर, है ना, हु आर कॉन्स्टेंटली मॉनिटरिंग ऑल दिस, है ना, so as to keep one satellite in orbit, right? So similarly, you know, we have Earth, right? So heavy Earth, you know, satellite is not so heavy, it's metric tons, right? And where is it? Here, right? So, and how much speed is around the sun? So fast, so huge, right? So this brings us to a question: who is in control, right? So if we see, is it NASA? Huh? So if we see that these all people are required to keep one satellite, you know, and there is this one Earth, you know, but in our solar system it's not just one thing. There are so many other planets, and they are all revolving concentric circles around the sun, right? And you know, if we study this more deeply, then हमें दिखता है कि प्लूटो जो है कभी वो 9th planet हो जाता है, कभी 7th planet हो जाता है, बिकॉज उसका जो ऑर्बिट है वो सही कई बार चेंज हो जाता है. बट स्टिल ऐसा कभी आपने न्यूज़ में नहीं सुना होगा कि आज जो है प्लूटो का किसी प्लैनेट के साथ टकराव हुआ और दोनों प्लैनेट चूर चूर हो गए, राइट? ऐसा कभी हमें नहीं समझ. तो अभी तक कभी भी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि कोई प्लैनेट्स में क्लैश हुआ हो, राइट? तो हर एक प्लैनेट को ऑर्बिट में कौन रखता है, राइट? कौन मॉनिटर करता है, इजंट इट? अगर हम एक स्पुतनिक को मॉनिटर करके प्रिसाइसली उसको ऑर्बिट में रखना पड़ता है, इतना मेहनत करना पड़ता है, राइट? सो तो ये सारे प्लैनेट्स दे आर फ्लोटिंग इन द स्पेस, so and they are not colliding with each other, right? So this makes us think, who is in control, right? Is it NASA? So just like if there is a traffic policeman, you know, he controls the traffic, right? So similarly, who controls the traffic revolving around the planets, right? So when we talk about design, so we have talked about macro level and micro level, right? So whenever we come across a thing, you know, so we see some smartness, some intelligence, you know, of the designer, right? So is it not that whenever you know, you are wearing different kind of clothes, right? It has been designed, है ना, कोई किसी में वर्टिकल स्ट्राइप्स होंगे, किसी में हॉरिजॉन्टल स्ट्राइप्स होंगी, कोई किसी मटेरियल का होगा, किसी मटेरियल का होगा, राइट? सो एवरी थिंग विच इज देयर इज अ डिजाइनर. सो डिजाइन implies there has to be a designer. Okay, now this is about sun. See the weight of the sun. It is 1.989 to the 10 to the power 30. Temperature of the surface 5505 degrees Celsius, 5000. Distance to Earth, so much, right? So can any human say that he has put a sun, he has created the sun, और क्या वो फ्यूल डाल रहा है सन के अंदर, right? Scientists do say that yeah, there is nuclear fusion happening in that, but even for the nuclear fusion to start, it begins from nuclear fission, and nuclear fission starts by when the first neutron is bombarded, right? So our question is who started the first bombardment of the neutron, you know? So this question is very important. Who started the first bombardment of the neutron in the sun, which caused nuclear fission, thereby nuclear fusion began in the sun? Okay, so think about it. This is what happens in a second. See how much energy one sun is producing, you know, and the energy emitted by sun per second is greater than the amount of energy consumed by the human race throughout the entire history. Yeah. So if a stone from your window hits your TV screen, you will ask, who supplied the energies to the stone? Behind energy, there is always an energetic person. So our question is that scientists say that the universe did not exist forever, right? So it was created at a certain point of time. So the question is, who created the universe? Who was the first person? Who was the first energetic person who threw the electron? Who started the bombardment? Right? Isn't it? So this implies that wherever there is energy, right, it implies there has to be energetic also, right? As you see that anything, इसको और अच्छे से समझ सकते हैं कि कोई भी एनर्जी है ना, वो किसी और चीज में ट्रांसफॉर्म होती, किसी और एनर्जी में ट्रांसफॉर्म होती है, तो कोई ना कोई लिविंग बीइंग होता है, जैसे इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी है, सो इट गेट्स कन्वर्टेड टू द मैकेनिकल एनर्जी, जैसे फैन है, राइट? सो देर इज अ पर्सन, है ना, कोई ऐसा भी पर्सन होगा जिसने फर्स्ट इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस करने में शुरुआत करी होगी. Electricity converts to light, right? So some person is there who is causing this thing to happen, right? So from this, we can understand that from where and who is doing this. You find that some living person is there who is responsible for the conversion, right? So another thing हम देख सकते हैं, perpetual motion machines होती हैं, right? Science में, which are not possible actually, fundamentally, if you see, right? And this proves that there requires a person for the conversion of energy from one form to the other. It does not get transformed automatically, right? So our question is, so how much energy is being produced and transferred in various ways? So who's the person behind the energetic, uh, who's the energetic person behind all these energy conversions, right? Let's now look around the world. So there is college at 9:30. So who has made this law, right? There's principle. In India, one has to keep car at left, and on the other, in America, one has to keep car at right. तो किसने ये लॉ बनाया, है ना? यहाँ पे इंडियन ट्रैफिक पुलिस ने, वहाँ पे अमेरिकन ट्रैफिक पुलिस ने, राइट? जैसे हम देखते हैं कि कितने ओवर्स होंगे वनडे इंटरनेशनल में, या कितने प्लेयर्स एक टीम में होंगे, या कितने बैट्समैन, है ना, किस तरीके से कब आएंगे, कोई रूल्स बनाता होगा, राइट? कौन? इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट काउंसिल, right? Now let's come to science, periodic table, right? So this is Mendeleev's periodic table, and this follows certain laws. It is not like कि आप कभी भी किसी भी एलिमेंट को कहीं भी इसमें रखो, right? That's why it is not periodic table of chance, right? It is periodic table. There is some law within it, right? So even dead blind matter, it also has some, it follows some certain laws. And like आपने टाइट्रेशन करा होगा अपने कॉलेज में, अपने लैब्स में. सो व्हाट वी सी कि हम एक केमिकल लेते हैं, कलरलेस केमिकल लेते हैं, दूसरा केमिकल डालते हैं टिल इट बिकम्स कलर्ड पिंक, राइट? सो एंड व्हाट वी डू, वी टेक मल्टीपल रीडिंग्स, राइट? सो व्हाई? कि हम ह्यूमन एरर या बाय चांस चांस को हम रिमूव कर सकें, राइट? सो पॉसिबिलिटी हम ऑफ चांस को रिमूव करने के लिए हम मल्टीपल रीडिंग्स भी लेते हैं इसमें, राइट? सो नाउ वी सी देयर आर डिफरेंट लॉज, देयर इज लॉज ऑफ फिजिक्स. दिस इज न्यूटन्स लॉ, This is optics and the laws of optics, right? And then there is laws of thermodynamics, zeroth law, first, second law, right? So we compared the micro world and the macro world. Both we see that in macro world there are Newtonian laws, right? Laws of motion, Newton. And in the micro world we see quantum laws, right? Heisenberg uncertainty principles and many more. But what we see in both, that there are some definite laws in all the fields, right? So this, from this we can understand that there are flawless laws, and this implies there has to be a lawmaker. Hmm. So now we see that there are different kinds of people, right? It's around 8:15. We have around 15 minutes more. uh. So we see that some people are beautiful, some are ugly, some are handsome, some are very rich, some are poor, some are educated, some are laborer, right? So different people are there, and there is so much of a variety. So is it by chance, or who decides, and who will decide who will be who, you know? So so who choose, right? Who chooses this? But there are some things which we can choose, right? Like there is, we can choose our education, we can choose our job, we can choose our husband or wife, right? So and many other things in our life, right? But we are, there are some certain things, कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं जो कि हम choose नहीं कर सकते, जैसे कि हमारे पेरेंट्स हैं, है ना? लाइक आवर फेस कट, नेचर ने ऐसा डिजाइन करा है कि बाय डिफॉल्ट हमारा फेस कट होके ही हम बर्थ लेते हैं. हमारी इंटेलिजेंस, वी कांट चूज दीज थिंग्स, राइट? सो द क्वेश्चन कम्स, हु चूजेस and on what basis? Is it by chance, right? What is your thought? Please write in the comment section. Please put up your things. What do you think? क्या लगता है आपको? Everyone, who chooses? Is it chance? Is it by chance? राइट? अगर आप देखो कि चांस की बात अगर हम करें, तो अगर आप एक कॉइन को थ्रो करोगे, सो एटलीस्ट आपको 2 बार करना पड़ेगा, तभी आप कह सकते हो कि हेड होगा या टेल होगा, राइट? देन ओनली देयर कम्स द पॉसिबिलिटी, राइट? इट वुड बी हेड और टेल, राइट? बट व्हेन वी सी द यूनिवर्स अराउंड अस, है ना, उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? हमें कम से कम उसको ऑब्जर्व करना पड़ेगा एक बारी, है ना? और उसको उसको जो है रिपीट होना पड़ेगा. जैसे हमने कॉइन को थ्रो करा, सो वी हैव टू रिपीट द प्रोसेस, नॉट 1-2 times एटलीस्ट, एंड वी हैव टू ऑब्जर्व इट. तो उसी तरीके से अगर हम यूनिवर्स को देखें, ना ही हमने उसको ऑब्जर्व करा है क्रिएट होते हुए, और ना ही मल्टीपल टाइम्स रिपीट हो रहा है उसका क्रिएशन, राइट? सो ना ही हमने रिपीट देखा है, और ना ही हमने उसको ऑब्जर्व करा है रिपीट होते हुए. सो इस तरीके से हम कह सकते हैं कि यूनिवर्स जो है एटलीस्ट वो बाय चांस तो नहीं आया है हमारे कंटेक्स्ट में. ओके, एंड from this we can conclude that probability or chance theory जो है, it can not tell us uh, about the origin of something. It can tell us about some occurrence of something. किसी चीज का होना बता सकती है, but it cannot give us the कि किस तरीके से कोई चीज originate हुई, right? So this is in context to the universe, right? So we have already discussed so many things, and so many laws and all this thing, right? So now, how then can our birth, beauty, intelligence only be random events, isn't it? Right? So there is law of karma. Okay, actually there is law of karma. So there is a very nice slogan in Srimad Bhagavatam in our Vedic scriptures. कर्मणा देव नेत्रेण जान्तुर्देहोपथातये स्त्रिया प्रविष्टा उत्तरं पुंसो रत कनश्रयः. Okay, so this is just like for every action there is equal and opposite reaction, right? So from this we can come out that there are flawless laws and there is a lawmaker. Okay, so now we come to what scientists uh, say about. Okay, so here is Einstein. uh, so Einstein, he was a very bold person. He says there is a perfect brain behind all the natural physical laws, and he very boldly, उनकी जो भी सेनेट की मीटिंग्स होती थी, he would very boldly say that there is God, and all these things which we see, there is God behind all these things, right? And here we have Schrodinger. So it's a very wrong statement what he say. What he means is that science cannot explain that what is the experience of sweetness when you put sugar on your tongue, है ना? साइंस नहीं बता सकता कि जो ब्यूटी आप अपनी आंखों में देख रहे हो, फील कर रहे हो, एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हो, उसको एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकता. कोई फ्रेग्रेंस है उसको नहीं बता सकता, right? So it is these all things, the sweetness, the beauty, right, the fragrance, these are all experienced by conscious being. कोई व्यक्ति जिसमें चेतन हो, तो वो व्यक्ति जो है एक्सप्लेन कर सकता है, वही एक्सपीरियंस कर सकता है, बट साइंस कैन नॉट explain. Okay, then there is Calvin. If you think strongly enough, you will be forced by science to believe in God. Isaac Newton. Here's a funny and a very interesting story what once happened with Sir Isaac Newton. Okay, so what happened was कि कुछ दोस्त जो हैं आइजैक न्यूटन के घर पे आए, और उनके घर पे एक मॉडल था सोलर सिस्टम का. इट वाज वेरी वेरी नाइस मैकेनिकल मॉडल, और उसके शाफ्ट्स को अगर आप मूव करोगे तो द होल सोलर सिस्टम वुड मूव. और ऐसा पूरा डिमॉन्स्ट्रेट होता था, मैकेनिकल मॉडल था. सो उसके फ्रेंड, उनके जो फ्रेंड्स आए, तो ही न्यू दैट ये जो है ना एथिस्टिक है, और उनने जो है ऐसा सोचा कि कुछ ना कुछ ये बोलेंगे. तो सो ही मेड फन आउट ऑफ देम. उनने कहा कि ये जो मॉडल है ना, ये बाय चांस आया है, इट हैज कम बाय चांस. तो उनके फ्रेंड्स ने उनसे पूछा कि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है, ये जो इतना सुंदर मॉडल है वो बाय चांस आया हो. तो न्यूटन ने उनको चैलेंज करा. He challenged them that if you cannot believe that this small model has come by chance, how can you believe that such a vast, huge, and beautiful universe has come by chance? Isn't it? So from this we can see that not even the past scientists, but also many present scientists, they believe in God. you know the most beautiful system of the sun, planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. This being governs all things, not as the soul of the world, but as Lord over all. And on account of his dominion, he is to be called Lord God, universal ruler. Similarly, there is Max Born and R. Srinivasan Ramanujan, Heisenberg, Faraday. So not even the past but present scientists continue to wonder, seeing the universe as a masterpiece of God's creation. Okay, so now comes the $2 million question. Okay, so be ready for it. Okay, so now the first question is, what is the origin of the universe? Big Bang, Big Bang, intelligent design, or chance? Please use the comment box and tell us, what do you think? A, okay. C, and okay. So if you talk about the Big Bang theory, um, it says that the universe come from a point, singular point, okay, and it has infinite density, बहुत ज़्यादा density है, infinitesimal size, बहुत ही छोटा है, mathematically unverifiable and physically unrealizable, and it is beyond space and time. तो इतनी सुंदर ये थ्योरी है कि आपको इतना ज़्यादा फेथ चाहिए इस चीज़ को समझने के लिए. सो क्या किया जा रहा है कि फेथ को एक जगह से रिमूव करके दूसरी जगह लगाया जा रहा है. तो बहुत सारे लोग जो है फेथ रखते हैं कई चीज़ों में, बट कुछ लोग क्या कह रहे हैं कि आप गॉड में ना बिलीव करके बिग बैंग थ्योरी में बिलीव करो. सो बेसिकली फेथ को चेंज करके एक गार्ड दिया जा रहा है बिग बैंग थ्योरी पे. सो अगर आप पूछो उनसे कि मैं कैसे इसको समझ सकता हूँ, बिग बैंग थ्योरी को कैसे परसीव कर सकता हूँ, सो दे विल से that it is beyond your conception, okay, so don't ask this, okay. So even Stephen Hawking's, he has rejected this theory, and because he said that something which has come from a singular point, it cannot happen, and also that he said that it cannot be verifiable, it cannot be verified by anything. The correct answer for this is intelligent design, right? Now, what is its purpose? What's your answer? Please put in the comment box. Answered. The right answer is understand God and life. So these two questions are very important, right? So anything which we see around us, as we were saying, that if you enter a lab and then you ask a person that there is a machine, भैया इसका purpose क्या है? So he would say, नहीं इसका कोई purpose नहीं है. So will you believe it? Isn't it? So any machine which we see, any computer, anything, it has some designer, someone has produced it, right? So similarly, there is this awesome universe, right? So Big Bang Theory, everything began from a point which we discussed, but what the encyclopedia says, it should be emphasized that no theory of the origin of solar system has yet won general acceptance. All involve highly improbable assumptions. Okay. So now we have a activity. Okay. So we are going to make comparison between government of our country and the universal government. So like हर जगह कोई भी country हो वहाँ पे जो है ऐसे अलग अलग ministries होती हैं, है ना, law and order के लिए, health के लिए, है ना, energy के लिए, right? तो आपको अभी क्या करना है, so आप सबको right side जो universal government है उसके कंपैरिजन में बताना है, मतलब होम मिनिस्ट्री यूनिवर्सल गवर्नमेंट के कंपैरिजन में क्या चीज होगी. ओके, सो यू नीड टू टाइप इन व्हाटएवर आइडियाज यू आर हैविंग, यू कैन टाइप इन. फर्स्ट है होम मिनिस्ट्री, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर. तो हाउ डू यू सी यूनिवर्सल गवर्नमेंट में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को मेंटेन किया जाता है ना. हमने लॉ डिस्कस करा था एक अभी, लॉ ऑफ कर्मा, इजंट इट, राइट? Right? Yeah. So now if you see that home ministry है तो practically क्या दिखता है, पुलिस होती है, right? अगर देखें तो if a dog runs after a she dog, nobody will do anything, but a boy teases a girl, police will come and catch him, right? So there is police in the home ministry, in our government, right? So similarly there is karma, right? So here like whatever कैंसर अगर है, कैंसर कैसे शुरू होगा, कोई ना कोई हम कोई गलती कर रहे हैं, है ना, लिवर प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, स्मोकिंग कर रहा है व्यक्ति या ड्रिंकिंग कर रहा है, राइट? सो मे बी वो कर्मा जो है इसी लाइफ में मिले ना मिले, इट विल कम आफ्टर सम टाइम, बट इट विल कम. ओके, सो एनी रॉन्ग एक्ट विच वी डू, सो नेचर में क्या है कि हम सोच सकते हैं कि भाई मैं कुछ चोरी करूंगा तो मैं बच जाऊंगा, बट नेचर में क्या है, आपको उसका रिएक्शन कभी ना कभी इट विल कम बैक. ओके, नाउ हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री, व्हाट डू यू थिंक? We have Ayurvedic herbs, right? There are, Charak Samhita, which are thousands of solutions of many different problems, right? Energy. Okay, energy के लिए क्या है? Light and electricity. What do we have for light and electricity in universal government? What do we have for electricity and lighting? Lighting के लिए क्या है? Yes, sun and moon. है ना? अगर देखिए रात होती है तो कितने सारे लाइट बल्ब सब कुछ हर जगह जल जाता है, बट भगवान ने एक सन बना दिया, है ना, उसके सामने सब फेल हो जाते हैं, है ना. तो फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री के लिए देयर इज गोल्ड, सिल्वर, नवरत्नास, डायमंड्स, है ना. सिक्योरिटी के लिए देखें तो बीएसएफ, बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स है ना. उसी तरीके से डिफेंस के लिए क्या है? डिफेंस के लिए, हमारी डिफेंस के लिए व्हाट इज देयर? देयर इज ओजोन, ओजोनोस्फेयर, जो कि यूवी रेस से हमें प्रोटेक्ट करता है, हमारी इम्यूनिटी है बॉडी की. ओके, देन एजुकेशन, है ना. एजुकेशन हम देखते हैं कि हमें इतने सारे कॉलेजेस और स्कूल्स हमारे लिए अवेलेबल हैं एजुकेशन के लिए, राइट. इतने सारे डिग्री कोर्सेज हैं. तो उसी तरीके से क्या राइट है क्या रॉन्ग है उसको समझने के लिए देयर आर मेनी स्क्रिप्चर्स, है ना. सो the lessons from the universal government activity. Okay, तो जैसे घर पे हमारे फादर होते हैं, है ना, जो कि हेड होते हैं. कोई डिपार्टमेंट है अगर कॉलेज में या किसी भी ऑफिस में कुछ भी, तो वहाँ पे एक एचओडी होता है. इंस्टीट्यूशन होगा तो एक चेयरमैन होंगे, है ना. कंट्री होगी तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर होंगे, है ना. तो उसी तरीके से नेचर जो है ना. तो बिहाइंड द यूनिवर्सल गवर्नमेंट हु इज द हेड? देयर इज गॉड, right. Just like prime minister maintains and controls the country, God maintains and controls the whole universe. Okay, and law abiding are live happily and government law breakers are punished. Okay, तो इसको हम ऐसे समझ सकते हैं कि जैसे मदर और फादर हैं, तो when the man impregnates the woman then there is a child. तो मदर नेचर, हमेशा हम क्या कहते हैं, मदर नेचर, उसमें सारी चीजें अवेलेबल हैं, है ना. बट फ्रॉम वेयर हु इज द पर्सन रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इट? द फादर, राइट. इफ द मैन इज नॉट देयर देन द यूनिवर्स कैन नॉट ब्रिंग अबाउट ऑल दोस थिंग्स, राइट. तो भगवद गीता में 14th चैप्टर का 4th श्लोका में आता है, अहम बीज प्रतः. भगवान बताते हैं आई एम द पर्सन हु इज द सीड गिविंग फादर. ओके, सो गॉड is father and nature is the mother. Okay, so if we all want to be happy, isn't it? क्या हम सब happiness चाहते हैं? What is the main goal of our life? Type in, हम क्या चाहते हैं? हम हर चीज क्या चाहते हैं हम सब? What do we want? What do we want in life? What is the ultimate thing? Happiness. Yes. So by knowing the laws and following, one can be happy. So for that we need to know the laws of God, and by knowing the laws of God we can be law abiders, and thereby we can live prosperously and happily. Okay, yeah, we will take questions in around 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, so you can all repeat this shloka, you know. Matah paraptam nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam prottam sutre mani gana iva. Okay, so here Krishna says, oh Arjuna, everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a necklace. Just like you see, I have this kanthi mala. Okay, so this kanthi mala, these are all beads, but how they are strung together? By a nylon thread, right? उसी तरीके से, है ना, ये whole universe is working in such a way. If you remove God out of this creation, everything will collapse. Everything will collide. It will become powder and nothing will exist. Right? So once a boy, he was going through a festival. Okay. So he asked his mother, mother, ये जो dog है ये dance कर रहा है, क्या ये सच में there is this real dog? So mother said, no, 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 there is a puppeteer who is making this dog dance, right? So similarly, uh, so similarly, there is a person behind all this, right? And Krishna says that Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sa charachram hetuna kaunteya jagat viparivartate. So this nature is under control of mine, and under me it is working, right? So God is the controller behind the cosmic manifestation. Okay. So we come to the last part of our presentation. What is our prime duty? So now, as we learn through this course many different aspects, right? You have all applied brain and intelligence to understand that there is God behind the working of nature, and now by this you can present uh, this how there is a big brain behind this creation. So it is the duty that being intelligent class of people here, we all need to spread this message to all the people, right? There are many people who foolishly says that there is no God, there is those things, such things. So present them these facts, उनको ये सब बताइए, ये सारी चीजें तथ्य बताइए, है ना, और उनको समझाइए, उनकी आंखें खोलिए. जिस तरीके से एक उल्लू होता है ना, वो दिन में नहीं देख सकता, तो उसकी आंखें खोलिए, उसको दिखाइए सूरज है, एग्जिस्ट करता है, राइट? एंड by this we need to glorify also. And जैसे साइंटिस्ट अगर आपको बनना है तो become scientist like Einstein, Heisenberg and Newton, है ना. They not only try to understand God, they, है ना, uh, we should also understand God, reveal God and show God to others, right? So by this glorifying, use science to glorify God. Okay. And to understand, explain the purpose of Lord's creation, which is to love God and love others, right? So as we see that so many crime rates, so many countries, so many areas which we see, वहाँ पे crime rate बढ़ रहा है, so much problems are there, depression में लोग हैं, but there is so much money, so much of knowledge is there in America and Western countries, but what kind of knowledge is it? It is materialistic knowledge कि कैसे हम dead matter को manipulate कर सकते हैं, right? But that knowledge will not and is not making people happy, right? Why? Because it is materialistic knowledge and it is related to dead matter, and the man had not put his brain to understand the big brain. Okay, so but now you all people can understand it. You all people are trying to understand all this thing, right? So in subsequent sessions you will learn about Ishwar, and you will learn about why Lord has created me, है ना, मेरे जीवन का purpose क्या है, right? So इन चीजों को और अच्छे से समझेंगे हम, है ना. और नेक्स्ट टॉपिक जो होगा, है ना, इट विल बी दिस. So there were four broken legs of the ladder. So broken legs means there are four defects, and this marble, black marble, is like, it's indicating the truth, right? So by learning truth, we can really understand what is the reality. Okay, so in the next session you will learn about the four defects, and also how to overcome the four defects. So in that we will further discuss tomorrow. We will meet same time. So I hope I was able to explain the topics.
Yeah, thank you, Adigopa. Thank you for this wonderful lecture. Uh, and with amazing videos, आपने काफी अच्छे videos के through हम लोगों को और बहुत ही अच्छे से बताया और
And Raghav.
So yeah, so first of all, that was very outstanding session, and so far we have not no, assumed the entire creation of God in such a beautiful way. So, so thank you very much for a beautiful explanation of these all things. So my query is, like God has created the entire thing in such a beautiful way, but now due to foolishness, human is destroying everything. Why God is not interfering?
Okay, so why God is not interfering? Okay, so इसको ऐसे समझ
In a stupid way,
सकते हैं that हाँ, yeah, yeah. So people have been given free will. Okay, so just like there's a so child has the right love his parents, right? And parents give everything. ऐसे फादर जो हैं आपको चॉकलेट ला के दें, राइट? और आप वही वही चॉकलेट जो है बच्चा जो है अपने फादर को देता है. सो वो चीज क्या है, वो लव होती है, राइट? ये चीजें नहीं दे, बट जो रेसिप्रोकेशन है दैट इज लव, राइट? सो इसी तरीके से देयर आर रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, जैसे हमने डिस्कस करा, देयर आर यूनिवर्सल लॉज, देयर इज कर्मा, राइट? So God is not intervening as such directly. Okay, He knows what is going on. It is not something that the universe is not his under his direct control. It is under his direct control, and He controls through his energies. Yeah. So similarly, we see that there are laws of nature. There are energies of God through which He is controlling, right? So ऐसा नहीं है कि जो अब सारी चीजें हैं वो अनकंट्रोल्ड जा रही हैं, राइट? और अगर लोग जो है गलत कर रहे हैं तो He has given things ना, He has given scriptures. हमने डिस्कस करा कि how to distinguish what is right and wrong. So for that He has given us scriptures. But what is wrong in on our part is that we are not accepting those things, right? So हमें फ्री विल दिया गया है. ऐसा नहीं है कि बेटा जो है उसको फोर्स करा जा रहा है बाप के द्वारा कि आप मेरे को लव करो, यू हैव टू गिव मी टॉफी चॉकलेट, है ना, दैट इज लव, राइट? देयर इज नो फोर्स इन दिस, राइट? सो लव कैन नॉट हैपन विद some force, right? There has to be फ्री विल इन इट, राइट? मतलब मेरी भी स्वतंत्रता होनी चाहिए उस चीज को करने की. सो आपका क्वेश्चन ये है कि लोग गलत कर रहे हैं तो लोग भगवान क्यों नहीं इंटरवीन कर रहे हैं? बिकॉज ही हैज गिवन अस फ्री विल. ओके, एंड प्रॉब्लम इज दैट पीपल आर exploiting that free will, and because of that they themselves are suffering. But the Lord is merciful. He is intervening. How? He is coming. यदा यदा ही धर्मस्य ग्लानि भवति भारत, है ना, संभवामि युगे युगे. भगवान तो आते हैं, धर्म की स्थापना भी करते हैं, स्क्रिप्चर्स भी दे रहे हैं, isn't it? And Srila Prabhupada and so many acharyas have come, right, who are at different times they are teaching people, the masses, and they are reforming the conditioned souls, right? So the point is this, that we are not even accepting that. So God is intervening, and yes, people are creating many different issues in the world, but it is not that God is not छोड़ दिया, you just stay here and यहीं पे सड़ो. ऐसा नहीं है. अगर ऐसा होता तो क्यों भगवान आते फिर, है ना? क्यों भगवान अवतार लेते इतने सारे, isn't it? What do you say, Raghav?
Yeah. First of all, you beautifully explained everything, and somehow I'm not somehow on every aspect I'm agree with you. that God has given provided us free will, and God has equipped with full capacity mind, where we can use our mind in solving our problems. And unfortunately, we fail to sense our higher consciousness, and that's why whole mess is continuing. And
Yeah.
so thank you, sir. Thank you. I agreed with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
something there. What I feel personally sometimes, that there is something, God has arranged something so that people will automatically understand things in coming days. Maybe there will be some arrangement of God. All God will. No, no. Yeah.
yes, yes, there are many things. Scriptures are there. There are many people who are telling, and now you are also learning these things. So now you tell others, you teach about these facts. You know so many things
Right.
now from this presentation,
Uh,
that how you can tell people, you know.
uh,
Uh, so we are not against, or we are not smashing people. We are also convincing them, like some facts which needs to be cleared, right? जैसे लोग कह रहे हैं कि बिग बैंग थ्योरी इज करेक्ट, बट इवन साइंटिस्ट खुद ही वो बता रहे हैं ना कि नहीं, वो सही नहीं है. देयर वी हैव टू सी द डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट. So in this session what we were doing is basically discussing about the different aspects, and we need to unmask what people are doing wrongly, है ना. अगर कोई चीज गलत हो रही है, अगर उसके खिलाफ हम बोल रहे हैं, so I don't think so that is wrong, right? we have to
right.
we have to educate people in the right way, isn't it?
So we will thank Prabhuji for the detailed explanation and question answers. And thank you all. आप लोगों ने काफी interestingly participate किया ना, काफी executive way में, patiently. And I know you all are very curious. So we have other 5 sessions waiting for you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We were ending up here. Thank you.